I will be doing a quick tank review on the German Tier 4 medium tank, the pz4. This vehicle, it is quite good for a Tier 5 medium tank. It is not that bad, nor good, it is just average. While being quite the mobile medium tank that you can play either two ways. If you want to play more of a derp medium tank, you can use the howitzer here, which is not that bad of a gun if you do not mind the howitzer's stats. While the L48 gun offers you more of a medium tank role when you're playing it aggressively if you have to, while playing it as a bit of a sniper role as well. This vehicle itself, when it comes to the stats, it cannot take a lot of damage. So if you are at the wrong place at the wrong time, you can be killed easily enough. So be careful about that. Let's get into the vehicle stats now. The vehicle stats, when the machine it is fully upgraded, it is not that bad nor good. Hit points, you have 480 hit points. If you are at the wrong place at the wrong time, you can be killed easily enough, either by an enemy tank that have a high rate of fire, or potentially by a howitzer if they fire HE at you. This 25-ton tank, it is quite agile still, with the 440 horsepower engine. Watch out for the engine fire though, at 20%. The tank have a good horsepower to ton ratio, 17 horsepower to 1 ton. That means most of the time you can reach the 40-kilometer mark easily enough whenever you are on flat terrain going in a straight line or going downhill most of the time in this tank. The hull and turret traverse, it is quite good. The hull at 32, while the turret it is better at 44. The armor it is quite rubbish when it comes to the armor in the front, side, and rear, so anything can penetrate you most of the time, especially tier 3 light tanks. If they flank your side and rear, they can penetrate your armor in this area easily enough. The only part in the hull armor where you have the 80mm for the hull armor, it is the front plate here where the machine gun port and the driver's port is here. This plate here, where the machine gun nest and the driver's port is, it is 80mm at the thickest point. So if you angle it to the left or to the right well enough, you can ricochet some of the enemy guns that are going to be fired at you. Besides that, most tier 5, 6, and 7 guns can penetrate the whole front armor easily enough. Besides that, the armor in the front, besides that area, it is less than 80mm. Lower plate is a weaker spot as a coupler here. The front turret armor, it is 50, that can be pen easily enough. Side armor, it is 30. For the hull and turret side armor, that's terrible, 30mm. So most guns can penetrate that easily enough, especially HE rounds if it hits the side armor. Rear armor, for the hull it is 20, turret it is 30. The crew and the modules, they can be damaged easily enough with a precise shot from the front or the side of the machine here. The one good thing about the space armor here, it gives you a little bit more extra armor, so it can absorb some of the damage done to you by the enemy heat or HE round if it's going to be shot at you. The gun depression itself, it is quite good. It is 10 degrees downward, so you can hill fight with this tank if you have to, while being in cover still to shoot back at the enemy tank. The gun elevation upward, it is 20 degrees. So you have good gun elevation as well. The gun that I am using on the pz4 here is a 75mm L48 gun. This gun, it is good. You have a high rate of fire, okay pen damage output, while the gun, it is accurate enough for you to technically to snipe with this if you have to. The view range, it is good at 350 meters. If you are going to be playing this tank as a medium to a short distance sniper, you can use the binocular telescope or coated optics to increase the view range in that area. Signal range for the radio, it is quite good at 710 meters. Let's cover the research part of the tank now. The vehicle research is an easy tank to go through, especially if you have the equipment already unlocked. If you went down the German heavy tank line, medium tank line, or the TD line. Let's begin off with the tracks. You can use the first pair of tracks still and have everything mounted onto this tank without going over the weight limit. But if you want to have a better haul traverse from 30 to 32, get the top pair of tracks just for that reason. Engine, you have only two to use. The 350 horsepower engine, it is not that bad nor good, but if you want to have a better horsepower to ton ratio, get the top engine to have more of a medium tank. The engine, you would have this unlocked already if you unlocked it when it is used on one of the tanks that uses it. If you have it unlocked already, use it right away as it's the best engine for the tank. The FUG-12 radio, you would have had this unlocked already as it is used on a lot of German vehicles. Turrets, you only have two. Get the top turret ASAP as this is the best turret on the tank here. You get more hit points, a slightly better view range, better gun handling stats for the L48, while you have the space armor added on with the off H turret here. You have 3 guns on the tank here to use, primarily 2 to suit your personal preference. The L43 gun, it is just like the L48 here in most ways, except for the L48 it is slightly better. If you just came from the previous tank to the pz4 here, you will have to research the L48 gun. The L48 gun here, you would have had this gun unlocked already if you unlocked it on a previous tank that uses it already. The L48 gun, it's one of my favorite guns on the tank here as it is more reliable compared to the howitzer. When it comes to most of the matches that I play in this tank. The L48 gun, it is not the best nor the worst when it comes to the damage done within a match, but if it's used right, you can do a lot of damage with this gun with the high rate of fire and the reliable amount of damage that you can do with AP or a PCR if the round pen. Pen, it is quite good, 110 for AP, 158 with a PCR, so you can pen most tanks easily enough if you know where to shoot at. Damage output, it is not that great, 110 for AP and a PCR, so if you want to do a lot of damage within a match, fire a lot of rounds at the enemy tank, as the damage, it is on the low end here. Accuracy, it is not that great nor bad, 0.39. So you can snipe with this if you have to when it comes to medium to short distance only. Aiming time, it is not that good nor bad, 2.3 seconds. The other gun that you can use if you want to, If you want to have more of a aggressive frontline medium tank role, then more of a versatile medium tank role with the L48 gun, you can use the Howitzer here, the 10.5 centimeter gun. This is a Howitzer for all intended purposes with the Howitzer stats. Rate of fire, it is quite good. With the proper equipment and having a good crew, you can have about 8 rounds per a minute with this gun. The pen, it is not that great, so the main ammo types you will be using for this tank gun, it is heat and HE. This tank gun, if you do hit something with heat or HE, you can do a good amount of damage with this gun, assuming you have high damage roll number on your side. Accuracy, you're going to have a problem getting precise shots with .55. Use the L28 or the L48 to get the necessary experience to move on to either the VK3601H or the VK3001P. Now, I will be covering the consumables, the ammo layout, the equipment, and how are you going to be playing the pz4H. Let's begin off with the consumables. Consumables, I would go with a repair kit, first aid kit, and a manual fire extinguisher. The total ammo count, you have 87 rounds with the L48 gun, so you will not run out of ammo in a match with this tank gun. The primary ammo types you're going to be using, it is AP and a pz4. HE, it is a useful ammo type to use still, especially if you're going to be shooting at a thinly armored target or just to reset cap with it if you have to. AP, you can pen most targets easily enough if you know where to shoot at. A pz4, I would only save this ammo type for the heavily armored targets that you're going to be facing up against from tier 5 to tier 7 maximum. A pz4 will cost you 7 gold or 2,800 credits. The equipment that I am using only for HL is to improve the vehicle performance when I am playing it as a frontline medium tank role, or when I have to switch a role quickly enough within a match. I went with the enhanced levers to improve the torsion bar and the suspension for the 4H here. The medium caliber tank gun rammer to decrease the loading time. One good thing about the enhanced levers is that if I do fall off a ledge, I am going to be taking about 50% of the damage. Vents to improve the crew by 5%. Now, the other pieces of equipment that you can use if you want to is the enhanced gun length drive for the better aiming time to decrease it by 10%. The coated optics or the binocular telescope for the view range increase. The additional grousers, not that bad if you want to have better resistance when you're on soft or moderately soft terrain. The spall liner and the repair box is not a good idea to use on the tank. Same as the camouflage net and the wet ammo rack. The pz4H is a tier 5 tank, so you will be getting yourself into a tier 5 maximum match to a tier 7 maximum match. No matter what the matchmaking throws at you, if you play towards the vehicle's strengths and weaknesses, you can do quite well in this tank. Now, let's cover the primary roles that you are going to be playing in the 4H. You are going to be playing this tank as a medium tank, so you will be filling a lot of roles within a match if you have to, whether it is a front line medium tank, Are they support role? Are they flanking role? Are they a sniping role? Or, at times, you can play this as a very aggressive front-line medium tank as well, if you know what you are doing in the match. I have one replay to show you how well you can do in the pz4 if you play toward its strengths. Let's go to that replay now. I will be showing you how well you can do in the pz4 if you are playing toward its strengths and weaknesses. Let's speed this replay up a bit. First thing first, I will show you the agility of the tank when you are going in a straight line. When you're going in a straight line on flat terrain or going downhill, you can easily reach the 40-kilometer mark on this tank. Right now, I am heading to a key part of the map to hold off the enemy push with the backup that I have. Before we push towards the enemy base, I rushed the shot on the A20 there, seeing the A20 is pushing. I fall backwards. Before I do anything else, I wait for backup to help me to take out the enemy vehicles out. The good thing about the 75mm gun that this pz4 have, if you can penetrate all of your shots within a certain amount of time, you can kill a tank quickly enough if you have to. The Covenanter there, it's a one-shot for me if I get a high wall. Unfortunately, I had gun depression issues there for a moment, so I could not kill the Covenanter. The Covenanter is a one-shot for me now, as that shot did not kill it in one shot. With the 1C dealt with, the Covenanter have to go before we push toward the enemy base. With the part of the map here in our control, we will begin our push to the enemy base. Seeing that the Sherman and the heavy tank behind me is going to push the right side of the map here in the A line toward the enemy base, I begin to move to a flanking position where I can easily shoot at what vehicles come in the open here. The good thing about the rate of fire is that even if you miss, you can potentially kill something quickly enough if you have to. If the machine is slow enough, if you have the chance to shoot at a weak part of the tank, like this charger here. That is assuming that your gun can pen the side armor of it. The Su-85 here, I rushed the first shot, but I did hit it. I am trying to lead my shots on the Su-85. Seeing the Su-85 is out of my range, I focus fire on the Bishop here. I am leading my shot on the Bishop here. This Bishop is now a one-shot for me. This vehicle, if you get to a front of the map, well, you can easily flank the enemy vehicle to get the necessary shots early on or later on in the match, you can do a lot of damage with the 75mm gun on this tank. Now there are only two vehicles left, the DW2 and the KV1. The DW2 will be killed soon enough, while the Sherman 3 and me, we will have to deal with the KV1. I switched to a pz4 rounds to make sure. I am going to be penning the KV1, as the KV1 have the thick armor in the front of the hull and on the turret when you have the top turret. I tracked the KV1, so now I can use my rate of fire to kill the KV1. Even if I was using regular AP rounds, I could have had killed the KV1. So using the APCR rounds here was not exactly necessary, but if I was facing a TL 6 or 7 heavy tank that had more side armor, then using APCR rounds would have had been a good idea. This replay I did quite well for the damage done within the match for the 2 kills that I got. I did about 1,700 damage. Let's go to the garage now to do a brief recap on the vehicle itself. Let's do a brief recap on the pz4. The tank itself, it is not that bad nor good for a tier 5 medium tank. If you play towards its strengths and weaknesses, you can do quite well in the machine. Remember, the pz4, it can fill many roles within a match if it have to, if you know what you are doing. The tank itself, it is capable of doing a lot of damage within a match if you know what you are doing, whether you are using the L48 or the L28 gun. Overall, this tank, it is not that bad nor good if you know what you are doing in this tank. I hope that you learn a thing or two about the pz4 and how to use it properly. If you like this video, leave a like, a comment, and even follow my channel as well. Good luck on the battlefield, everyone.